Hey folks, Ryan here from Thistle Hill Farms. About 5 years ago, I got absolutely tired of cutting grass and watering grass and weeding grass and feeding grass, and I seemed to spend more time uh, taking care of grass than I was doing anything else around the house. So I was getting into permaculture and I decided to tear out my yard and put in a food forest. It's been 5 years. Let's take a look and see what the difference is from, well, say this to this. I'll flip you around here and take you for a tour. All right, this is long overdue, so I'll try and keep this fairly short. It's 6 in the morning, so I'll also try and be fairly quiet. But we used to have this, and it was just filled with dandelions, and it nagged me out every single time I had to cut it. It was terrible. It was brown, you had to water it. Oh my goodness. This is, when we built this house, this was construction, right? So, I mean, everything was cleared off here. There's clay underneath here. They dug the hole for the house, right? And then backfilled that. And then there's maybe 4 to 6 inches of topsoil on top of there. And then sod. So, I'll throw a link up here somewhere. If you'd like to check out us tearing the yard out, it's a pretty bad vid. I think it was one of my very first vids, but it'll show you what it looked like when we first got it planted out. So anyway, I did a whole bunch of annual flowers, and most of them are either edible, medicinal, or both. So we've got a bunch of calendula up front here with some black-eyed Susans in a little bank back here. Any of these lupins that you see, these gorgeous, gorgeous lupins, I have just let migrate from the very first year. So wherever you see them dotting the property, that's where they want it to be. So I will note that Thistle follows me everywhere. In this wood chip system, it is fairly easy to take take a weeding device, loosen it up, and you can pull a huge chunk of the root out and try to exhaust it. I've been staying on top of it, but letting things get almost to the point of flower, which will take even more energy for them to regrow. This is a red currant, and just every year, I'm waiting for a year when it just has an off year. You know when that one plant just didn't really produce that year. This thing doesn't understand what that means. It is laden year after year after year, and it is, I don't know what to say. It's almost the pride of the yard, and I'm sure that this is terrible. There's a name for that. The infamous leaf curl wilt syndrome or something. I don't know what it is. This thing doesn't die. It just grows. I will now look that up. So what I had originally done was I had 8 fruit trees. And right here, this little scraggler is what has tried to grow back from the pear tree that died. So around each tree, I had a guild of beneficial plants. So something like comfrey. Isn't that gorgeous? That is just huge. That thing's all of 5 feet tall. I am actually going to be cutting these down for some fertilizer ideas that I have. But the lupins are also nitrogen fixers. And then I went around with yarrow, which is a medicinal and also a beneficial. Chives. I tried around each tree to put, as many beneficial plants as I could. And then from there, I let them migrate. Any of these chive blossoms, they're going to make chive seeds and drop all over the place. That's exactly how that little planter got filled up. Same as the yarrow. It kind of moves around. And if I don't like it somewhere, well, I'll do some light management and get rid of it. But, that's kind of my philosophy. This year I popped in a bunch of nasturtiums in through here. And again, I haven't been out here to weed in probably 3 weeks. I've been trying to finish planting. I popped some red amaranth in here. So that should be standing nice and tall. And I kind of did have a little bit of a plan as to how this was going to look in the fall. So, hey, who knows? We'll see. And this here is a thornless gooseberry. And it's putting on gooses. I I quite enjoy these, and these don't seem to be very susceptible to wildlife. The birds kind of leave these ones alone, which I appreciate. Some marigolds and some more calendulas in here. These bachelor buttons are just awesome. I cannot wait until each plant's got, 5 or 6 of those things open. They just look fantastic. And then, I didn't even notice you guys had started to flower. What are these, Cosmos? I'm looking forward to these as well. This is my first time growing those. And then this is out of the fruit trees, that's probably the pride and joy. That's an apple tree. And if I care to go back and look to find out what variety it is, I'll pop it up on the screen. Last year was a fantastic year. It was absolutely packed with apples. We've got a couple on this year. Just taking a look around at the tree, and it's not packed, but yeah, whatever. I mean, I really haven't pruned this thing. I probably should fairly soon. I'm sure the pruning enthusiasts out there are shaking their head at me right now, but it's just a beautiful, beautiful tree. This is one of my 4 hascap bushes, which is currently being choked out by, not choked out, just, it's very compact in there. That comfrey is going to, again, be cut down to give a little bit of room. And then this devil plant is called sea buckthorn. And if you have an opportunity to put sea buckthorn in your yard, you walk away from that opportunity. This thing is full of insane spikes, and it will grow underneath. I know I have either a picture or a little video, and I'll splice that in. It is insane. I had a male tree here, and I had a female tree down there, and I was picking little growths and shoots out of 30 feet away. It was disgusting. Now, if you were on a rural property and you wanted like a living hedgerow that would give you privacy or keep animals out, this thing will keep anything out, and it grows like a flippin' weed. I mean, it was almost as tall as the apple tree when I decided that it had to go. So I think I spent about 4 days with the kids' help digging it out of everywhere. What did I do here? I put something. Snapdragons? I think those are little snapdragons. I just did a little bank of them here. There's a couple of our herb baskets getting green and looking fantastic. Zinnias, perhaps a little bank of those in there. And again, I will be relieving some of this by taking the comfrey. That'll grow back two more times this year. A little thing of hollyhocks up in here. So again, this is a cherry tree. So I don't know, what did we go through? The pear tree that died, the apple tree. This is a cherry. It traditionally it's done okay, but a couple years ago we had some pretty bad winter dieback. I thought I lost it. I did not. It has come back, and by the looks of things, it's deciding to do a little bit of cherrying. I wouldn't say a lot. I'm not going to be making any money making my own jams. The other cherry tree is over here. Careful not to step on anything. And again, this died completely back, and it had regrown all over here. I dug almost all of it out, and actually tried to see if I could I planted it again somewhere else to see if I could get the roots to take, but this is all new growth from that winter dieback. But again, I've got a guild around there. You'll see the comfrey in the back, and this is Ella Campaign. This is a very strong medicinal for anything lung orientated, breathing orientated. You would harvest the roots, dry those, and make yourself a coffee or tea out of them. Each one of these little boxes, I tried to do a little theme. Again, I don't know. I think that's a zinnia. Those are hollyhocks in that one. I put sunflowers in one. Let's go take a look. This is a very cool little area to me. I don't know why, but I just love this little area, this little feel in here. That is a cranberry bush, and it's just surrounded by a wild field of lupins that decided last year that they wanted to make their home here, and I said, yeah, I got no problem with that. And I popped in some more bachelor's buttons in here, trying to put things in annual flowers that will replace, because these lupins look so crazy good right now. In a couple or 3 weeks, they'll be done, right? This guy here is a Yostaberry. It's actually a pretty big plant, but I trimmed out the whole inside of it. So this lupin appears to be taking over. We'll see how this one does by the end of the year. So a little bank of hollyhocks in the front, around there. I put some purple auric in here, and I will definitely pop in a shot of in our greenhouse where one of these things is growing wild, out of control. One more time, how's it go? No, it's crazy, man. This thing's like probably as tall as I am, and these will get to that point later in the year. Beautiful. What a gorgeous plant. What a gorgeous plant. Absolutely huge. These things fill in a yard or any space they take up really nice. But yeah, a little box of sunflowers. I do have some more cosmos over there, but again, I got to get in there and get some of those thistles out. I mean, they're devil plants, but I mean, they are pretty until you get close to them. I know a lot of people like that. Anyway, I digress. Okay, this is the other apple tree. Again, really bad winter dieback. I trimmed a ton of the dead stuff off. And we'll see how she does this year. I'm trying to recall. I don't see any on, and I can't recall there being any flowers. So whatever, I'll prune it up better and learn a little bit more. And then just around this tree, by the way, is absolutely magnificent. And I will put a shot in, or if you have taken the time to go look at the first year, I had hacked this thing back. It looked like a giant stick poking out of the ground. So 5 years later, this is just wicked. Around here, I did my little, homage to my support for the Ukraines. So I've got borage over here for the blue flowers and black-eyed Susans here for the yellows. Shitty situation. Another little lupin forest that popped up. Interesting, I popped a few sunflowers here and there to see if they would compete. That was back when the lupins were small, but they're trying, but man, they're spindly. And there's a few down in there that, they're trying. It's so cool what in nature, like that's not going to get as big as it could if it was sitting there by itself, but that's not how nature do. Like forests, everything competes. That's very cool. And look at how much stronger that stem is. Awesome. This is your standard gooseberry, and again, putting on berries. It just has thorns, and this is the one that had rooted from where it was touching, or kind of buried underneath the wood chips. So I cut that out, and I have myself another gooseberry. There is an apricot tree in Alberta. It can be done, folks. I have 2 that have made it and grown 5 years. Now, the question that you need to ask yourself is it worth it to grow 2 apricot trees over the course of 5 years to receive 1 apricot? That's the question that you would need to ask yourself. They're lovely looking trees. I just don't consider them fruit trees when I've gotten 1. Now, it was the best apricot that I've ever put in my face hole, so I'll give it that. And there is my second pair that also died, but it appears, again, like I say, to be trying to come back. So we will see. We'll let it do its thing. Again, kind of a neat little area in here. It's somewhere that we come out and actually walk through and spend a fair bit of time. I put a little bit of lavender in just to kind of let me know not to walk on the red vein sorrel until that starts growing, and that has really taken a liking to its new home. I dug the cold frames out. I just need to take them apart and get them the heck out of here. I'm still work in progress with everything. Riley picked up a tomato plant from market. from one of our friend vendors, so we're gonna run that up a string and see how it does. I planted this out just with stuff, some cosmos, some nasturtiums in the front, sunflowers in the back. I don't know if I have an ant issue over here, or this perhaps maybe is a cat bathroom, but this corner here is not what you would typically describe as thriving. If you were to use any word to describe this, I'll investigate that when I have time. This little corner here, yeah, just some hollyhocks, which those are 5 times the size of when I put them in. I have 3 elderberries, and this one here is the biggest by far. It's almost 5 feet when you stand them up tall, and it looks like we're gonna just about start getting some flowers on here, so that's very, very cool. I have started to take some of the comfrey. Again, that was 6 feet tall. It's in the back of the truck heading out to the farm. This stuff's fallen over, so it is time, because it will be shading out a bunch of the other things that I planted in there, like the chamomile and the lavender, and there's even some black-eyed Susans over there. So again, these are meant to be cut a couple of times a year. And then just walking towards the back, the lady's mantle grows every single year. That is just a great looking plant. I've got most of the weeds out of here, but there'll be some coming back, right? Again, super easy to take those out. I think I just got these in about a week ago. What do I got? I think I put borage down the back, and then black-eyed Susans up front. Some extra vegetables. Lavender and chamomile, so this is going to be my tea area. This is some rhubarb that I grew from seed. A buddy sent it to me, and it looks to be doing not too badly. I certainly haven't taken any, because it's only its second year. And some hollyhocks, and then some Asiatic lilies that sometimes come back, sometimes they don't. We've had some really bad lily beetles. I don't know if I ever took any video of when they were on there all the time, but they're little red beetles, and they absolutely destroy these things. We'll see if they bounce back. This is gonna go, and my extra flowers are gonna go in between the trees. I took the potato boxes out. That's the worst looking area, so don't look there. Do not look there. Don't do it. Okay, the hollyhocks in the back are banging. They are loving life. Where can I get a good one where the sun's not in it? And I popped red vein sorrel in front of them, because those hollyhocks will grow tall, and I'm hoping that the red vein sorrel can bush up a little bit and not get completely shaded out. Is there a good angle with the sun the way it is? Maybe, yeah, maybe there. Okay, so the nasturtiums in the front, and zinnias, and I think I had to pop a snapdragon in to fill a hole from something that happened. Anyway, we got our little sunflower forest here with red amaranth in front, and that red amaranth is so much bigger than the ones out front. Man, they're liking this. I got through here and weeded most of this just on Sunday. What do I got here? Black-eyed Susans again, Rudbeckia, with some nasturtium that's looking quite happy. And then got a herb bed here with some cilantro, oregano, and thyme. That herb bed has got parsley and sage, and then just a few of the extra plants. And we've got some edible flowers. Waking up and saying good morning. So those are going to be Swiss giant pansies, some violas. Oh, I see I have some horseradish that I did not dig out of there. I will rectify that situation. So yeah, I do still need to get through here and do some weeding, but these are really Really looking nice coming through. Here was part of the cherry tree that I thought if I dug it out and put it in some soil, that didn't work. But this is a, what is that? That's a gooseberry. And that worked. So I now have another gooseberry. Check out these. I did some tradesies with a lady in a town not too far away from here for some plants, and I forgot to put these anywhere, but they seem to overwinter, and they're putting on kind of a nice little show. This is my, I don't know what you call this. I don't want it to die, but I don't know where it's going to go bed. This is the horseradish that I dug out of there. So, I mean, I've got loads of it in here because I was going to replant it, when I have free time. So, and just a few extras. All right, there you go. There's a tour of the food forest. It's changed so much over the last 5 years. Again, I've kind of let it migrate and do its thing. I do a bit of management when it comes to, I don't need, weeds everywhere, obviously, but I think it's looking pretty good. So I got a happy place where I work, and then I get to come home to one too. Thanks for sticking around. If you have, I really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and share it so that like-minded people can see how their food's growing, who's growing their food, and where they can get it. Because I guarantee it's going to be a better value than what you're getting out of the stores. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.